Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are talking about Victor Oladipo trade rumors and why he will be on the move again soon. This season for Houston, Victor Oladipo is putting up 19.9 points, 4.9 boards, and 4.7 assists a game for the Rockets. Now, you might be thinking, why would Vic be on the move again? He just got traded only a few weeks ago, and the reason is quite simple. The Houston Rockets only got him so that they could shop him. Vic also does not fit the timeline of the Houston Rockets because Houston wants young players that can bang in the post, and they want more bigs now, and Victor Oladipo just does not fit either the timeline or the fit of the Houston Rockets. And they only got him so they could trade him. And with the Rockets going on a huge losing streak, it looks like Victor Oladipo's time in Houston will be coming to an end. Now, there are three teams most people see Vic going to, and that's the Lakers, Heat, or Knicks. Basically any of the big market teams. Now, I could see the New York Knicks going after him, but they'd have to convince the Rockets big time, and the Knicks would have to give up Emmanuel quickly, which they obviously would not want to do. They would probably have to give up some amount, but the Rockets wouldn't be looking for that much back, so they could really just trade Oladipo to New York for cash or trade Derrick Rose, honestly. The Knicks are the most possible team I'd see him going to, and then there's the Miami Heat, and I think Oladipo will sign with the Miami Heat in free agency if there is not a trade that happens before then. Oladipo will have played on 4 teams in a year once he goes into free agency, obviously, because Vic is obviously just going to get traded to a team he does not want to play for. And then you have the Lakers, and people make up rumors like this all the time about the Los Angeles Lakers with star players like Victor Oladipo, and it's just unrealistic. One of the most unrealistic things in the NBA. Everyone says, oh, this superstar is going to join the Lakers. Well, everyone always forgets about one teeny little detail: the salary cap of the Los Angeles Lakers. It feels to me like Victor Oladipo has just always been a player who has just always been on the trade market. He's one of those NBA superstars who is a very solid starter and just does not get the recognition he deserves and is always getting traded, whether that's being on a very bad or horrendous team or being on a team that is a mid to low playoff seed. Like when he was on Indiana, he's just always on the trade market, and that's what everyone says about him. Now, I do have to give Vic credit because when he was in Indiana this season, he was actually playing quite well, and he's one of the most consistent players in the NBA. Remember how I said earlier he was averaging 19.9 points a game in Houston? Well, he was averaging 20.0 points a game in Indiana. One of the most consistent players ever. Now, yesterday an article was put out on how Victor Oladipo could get traded to the Boston Celtics with PJ Tucker. And when you look at this deal on paper, it seems really good, especially when you consider that the Boston Celtics would probably only have to give up Kemba Walker, who's having an off season anyway, and then give up Victor Oladipo, who is a young star in the making and a very solid player in his prime, who's a good point guard and is better than Kemba Walker right now. And then, people always have to throw in the Golden State Warriors name in those trade rumors for every NBA superstar who's gonna get traded. Giannis and etc. And this time it's Victor Oladipo. But every time I tell people, every single time, have you ever seen a star get traded to Golden State? No. I mean, Kevin Durant and who else? No one. And it's not gonna be different with Victor Oladipo. So I can't see him going to the Golden State Warriors. Also, they have a loaded salary cap. Now, there is one team who I could really see him going to, and I'm so surprised no one has brought this up yet, and that's the Toronto Raptors. Honestly, if Oladipo was traded to the Raptors for Kyle Lowry, that would be one of the smartest moves ever, since Vic is a very athletic, great point guard in his prime and fits the timeline of the Toronto Raptors, and Kyle Lowry would be going to Houston and could bring some veteran leadership that the Rockets need. And as for Oladipo, he could carve out a great career actually in Toronto. Like, if he went to Toronto and balled out with Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam, this next season, I could see them as like the 3 seed, 2 seed in the East. And also, I could see Oladipo averaging like 25 points a game, one of the best seasons in his entire career. Also, if he got traded to Toronto, then they would probably convince him to get a contract from them this off-season, because the Toronto Raptors are nowhere near over the luxury tax, and they have a lot of room on their roster to bring in new players, and trading away Kyle Lowry's overpaid player that he is would be great, and that would be awesome for Victor Oladipo. I want to see Victor Oladipo shine. I want to see Victor Oladipo be one of the best players in the league, but we just have not gotten that opportunity yet. We have not seen Vic become a top 10 player really ever, but I think he has the potential to. But time is running out. His prime only has 5 or more years left, and Vic just does not seem like a player that is that motivated. I mean, he is, but he just never puts up that many points, and points in the NBA right now are crucial if you want to be considered an NBA superstar. Anyway, Victor Oladipo is on the trade market, and he is about to get traded or bought out, and Vic is one of the best players in the NBA. There is no questioning that. But when Oladipo gets traded or gets signed by another team this offseason, you better look out, because Vic is gonna make some noise. And Vic will play amazing no matter what team he's on, because he has something to prove. He has something to prove to everyone. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, turn notifications on, like, share, comment, all the good stuff. And as always, we are Hyper Hoover Basketball, and we're out.